Promotional consideration paid for by the following. Webster Ace Hardware and Farm Supply are generous sponsors for today's podcast. They have been a family-owned business for 27 years. This helpful hardware store sells items such as archery, Ariat clothing and boots, Wrangler jeans, case knives, Hammond's candies, and live fishing gear. They also have a full selection of hardware, RV supply, propane, Ben Moore, Royal & Clark, and Kenningston paints. You need a barn or fencing job done? Custom barn kits and roofing metal are provided at your local Ace Hardware store. What about a new grill for the yard? Traeger, Big Green Egg, Weber, and Blackstone are found here, along with all the accessories to go with them. Stock up your workshop with DeWalt, Milwaukee, or Craftsman tools. They got you covered. Remember to go to ace.com to shop their entire line to have items shipped directly to the store. All right, welcome back to another edition of the Goblay Show. I'm your host, Billy Goble, and today we have a special guest. I have actually known her for quite some time. Heck of a softball player, and I want to welcome to the show Miss Zoe Riley. Zoe, welcome to the show, Zoe.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Another year.
Yes. Another year of eligibility.
Absolutely. That's
Which technically is like a red shirt, you know,
like
but it's
like
not a red
senior,
shirt.
Something
yes.
Like that,
Which was awesome. Like I got the extra year as well, which was cool. I mean, it was great because all the girls I seen and met when I went on my visit were on the team. You know, they were basically all the same. I think they lost like a pitcher and maybe a middle infielder. Gotcha. That's all they lost. Everybody else came back. So it was awesome. And the previous year before COVID hit, they were on the road to nationals too.
Right.
You know, they were going to nationals, but then COVID hit. So I think that was a positive to COVID. Those girls were really blessed to be able to play with the same group of girls again and like, you know, have a shot or have a run at nationals again.
Right.
Which was awesome.
That's cool. So when you're meeting these girls and you're forming a bond, like a relationship with these girls, and how many of the girls on that travel team that you were playing with, how many were on that team you were going to, like your college?
Oh, none.
None?
Yeah.
Okay, so
we
were
all
any
went
of them
different.
rivals? Like, we're gonna play. Oh wow, that makes sense.
It was awesome though.
But that helps because you can form a relationship, and even though you're being competitively not on the same team, at least you know that you know how the person is.
Yes.
There's nothing like when you go somewhere and you're like, oh, I heard this person's this or that. You already know who this person is.
Yes.
And then all you have left is the competitive nature. Like if they get the best of you, then that's what you judge them on. Not, I hear she's a you know what.
Yes, exactly.
Or you know,
it's like starting fresh.
Right. So I think that's kind of cool how they set that up.
It was pretty cool. I mean, another thing is I knew a few of the coaches that we were playing. So it was like,
oh, okay.
So the coaches, whenever we went to play them, they're like, oh yeah, here's Zoe Riley. Like, you know, which everybody knows everybody in the JUCO world.
Right.
Like, it's a small world for big opportunities, obviously, but it's a small world. Everybody knows everyone. Like, you're going to figure out who the aces are in your conference. You're going to figure out who you need to look out for. Like, I don't know. It's just like, it's all like a big little community of softball players. And you figure out, you figure out who are the people you need to look out for. You figure out what their little cliques are, like their little niches that they have on the field or certain things that they do, and you're going to be like, pick up on it real quick. You're like, okay, this is what they do when they're going to steal. This is what they do when they're going to pitch out, you know? You start to pick up on those things because it's a small world. You play these teams 4 times, you know, in regular season, which is cool.
That is cool. Okay, so now you're kind of there. What's your first impression of this place? I know you went and did a visit, but now you're there. Yeah. So what is it like at Southwestern?
Florida Southwestern.
Florida Southwestern.
Yes.
Right. Florida Southwestern. And now you're not. You're Oh my gosh, how was that? Is that 2 hours from home? 2.5?
Like 2.5, 3 hours.
2.5. So you're not like Bushnell to Webster
No.
anymore. So that alone is a big transition as well. Have you ever been away from home like that before, or is that just something first time for that stint of period of time?
Yeah.
A lot of people have never experienced. There's a lot of people that have never been out of state.
Yeah, no.
And so it's like, you've never been out of the state of Florida? Are you kidding me? But I mean, it's not like it doesn't happen all the time. There's a bunch of people that have never been out of the state. Mm-hmm. There's places in the state I've never been. I've never been to Key West. I've never been to where's the other place at? I guess that's the only place. Like the Everglades area, south of Fort Myers.
Okay.
I've never been there, but
yeah, I've only been able to go to those places because of softball.
Because of there, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So I went to Key West because of softball. I went to Panama City Beach because of softball. I've been to Virginia because of softball. Right. So it's like, if I wasn't a softball player, I probably would have never traveled out of Florida either.
Right.
You know?
Well,
which is fine.
Yeah.
But
I wasn't saying anything was wrong with it, but it's just, with today, like I said, like with today's technology and people can, flights are nothing now, and or you can just get in a car and just go.
Right.
It's not like, I mean, I guess you have to have that ambition or drive to go and do it, but a lot of people are just content where they are, you know?
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of an older mentality. They're like, I really don't need to go out of the state, you know? Used to, you didn't have your community like you know, in Bushnell, you've got all these, I don't say a lot, but okay, scratch Bushnell, the villages, just say the villages, that area, there's so many things you can do that you probably don't even have to ever leave the state. But a lot of people back in the day, they'd have to drive an hour to go get groceries or 30 minutes to get groceries, you know, or whatever. Go buy a new car or go to the mall or whatever it was. I know you probably don't know what a mall is, but okay, you know what a mall is, but I'm just saying it's kind of a dying thing.
Yeah, like shop online.
But yeah, that's
it's just crazy. It's all online now. They don't even have to
leave their house. That's what I'm saying. That mentality is still kind of there, but no. So you're going to this new place. What was your first impression of it?
First impressions was, all right, I'm close to the beach. That was awesome. Yes, great. I was like, perfect. Now I can go to the beach, like on my off days. Yes, which was awesome. That's really what drove me towards the school also. The kind of the just like things outside of softball, because you always have to think about your environment, like where you're going to be comfortable. And I knew I was going to be comfortable there. I moved in. I was on the second floor, I think, which was great. I don't want to be on the fourth floor. Like, that's just too much work. Yeah. Waiting for the elevator or taking the stairs was not a go for me.
Or just moving your stuff in general, like when you move out.
When you move out and move in. Yeah. Yes, like I had almost a 30-pound mirror that I was putting in my room. Like, there was no questions asked. My dad was getting that in my room. So, I mean, moving there was awesome. It was great. Being a student athlete, it was kind of like a big old family. Softball knew baseball, softball knew basketball girls, basketball boys, volleyball. We all knew everybody. Like, I think the second day of being there, we had a athletic intermission like type of thing, you know. I don't know. It was like, felt like family. Like, I really felt comfortable there. I felt like everybody had my back there. It was awesome. But I will say I was very stressed out in the first few weeks because I had to wake up at 5 a.m. every single day, which is not easy. It's not very easy.
Yeah. Sometimes it gets better. Sometimes I remember I get up at 5 now, like 5:30 normally every day, whether I want to or not. It's just that you get that clock inside.
Yes.
You know, and whether you want to, and I'll have the choice to go back to sleep, but I'm that person. Once I'm up, I'm up. You know what I mean? I'm not going back to sleep. So I'll come out here to play, you know, video games or something, watch TV or whatever. You know, it's kind of like you're alone. You know, like you want to get away, just kind of hang out, just kind of a little I don't want to say meditation, but just kind of like you just do your own thing. So, but it does you will be like that one day. I promise you. It's gonna take a while because I remember having to get up at 5:30, at younger, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this ought to be a crime, like this early.
I was sleepwalking. Like, there's no way I was awake during those moments. It was horrible.
You're having an out-of-body experience.
Yes, because we woke up at 5:15, and you had to be at the arena between 4:45 and 6. So you had to be there to stretch before we had weights.
So you were already pushing that when you're waking up at 5:15, and you only had 45. How far away was that?
It was like a 5-minute drive, but because it was COVID, we had to walk.
No way.
Yes, in the middle of the morning. Like, it's still dark. There's no sun. There's no nothing out. And we had to walk because of COVID. Because you weren't allowed to have multiple people in the cars, technically. Like, you can't be... even though we were teammates, it was still...
Yeah, they don't care.
They did not care during COVID. So there was... Those first few weeks, we had to walk. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired.
So walking, how long did it take you?
Probably like 15 minutes, maybe. So not far at all.
So you had a 15-minute buffer? Oh my gosh.
I was like sleeping in the clothes I was going to wear to weights that day. All I did was wake up, brush my teeth, and I was ready. I didn't even brush my hair.
If you didn't wake up fully dressed and ready to go, you literally had like half an hour.
Yeah.
But
I was already dressed.
Even if I give you 15 minutes to get ready, you have a 15-minute buffer.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So if something were to happen, like, I would have been late.
Yeah.
I just got lucky every time. All I did was wake up, brush my teeth, put my hair in a bun, and I was going.
Right.
That's it.
Did that help you? Did that prepare you to be a little more on time when you got older, like as you progress, or was it just always like, nope, I'm waking up at the same time and I don't care?
Nope, I was waking up at the same time. I did not care. It was too early for me, which was fine because leading up to weights, so weights were from 6 to 7. From 7 to 9, you had study hall. You were not able to leave study hall either. And then classes started at 8:30. So if you had an 8:30 class, you had to leave study hall early. But that was the only reason you would be able to leave early.
Did you ever try to leave early? Like, you give an excuse?
No. I just tried my best not to fall asleep. I was always dozing off in there, which was good because it taught me like time management. Obviously, I had those 2 hours to get my homework done. So if I didn't get my homework done then, I had to wait till after practice over around 4:00, take a shower, then do my homework. And by that time, I was tired. Like, I was ready to go to sleep. So it kind of just taught me to like really be on top of things and make sure I get my stuff done because my schedule was so tight. Like, weights in the morning from 6 to 7. 7 to 9, I had study hall. When you go back to the dorms, you have time to take like a tiny shower. And then you got to go to class. Like, I had a 10:30 class, so it was like 10:30 to 11:45, 12 o'clock, I think. And you were leaving the dorms at 12:30 to get to practice.
Right.
So it was
like a 3-hour practice?
Yes, most of the time it was like a 3-hour practice because during the fall you're on time. So you only get a certain number of hours that you can practice with your team.
Right.
So we did a lot of individual work because that didn't count as team practice time.
Gotcha.
Which I don't really know the like technical terms or parts of that aspect of it.
Right.
But I know in the fall we only have a certain number of hours that we are able to practice together as a team on the field.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a regulation. Plus it was COVID.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Had to wear a mask.
Yeah, I was going to say, so there are added other restrictions, not only to your, the college, whatever they come up with.
Yes.
For the athletic side, but now you've got extra.
Yes.
Regulations.
It was difficult because obviously it was during COVID.
Yeah. And
we were given the gaiters, like the ones that you wear around your neck and they come up.
Oh, yeah.
So we were given those, and we wore those for the first week at weights and on the softball field, like in this hot sun. Oh, yeah. And, we always had to wear the mask. And then eventually we were told that's not a mask. you have to wear a real mask,
Yes,
like an
yes.
N95,
Yes.
pretty much. And I
You
was
can't
dying.
You can't practice in an N95. These people are this
Yes.
is ridiculous.
Yes, and I mean, we had to follow those rules because there would be random people come to the fields and like it'd be like people from the news channel or people from, you know, the city, or just random people would come and watch us practice,
Or
obviously.
narc.
Yes, and they would make sure we had our mask on.
Yeah.
And I remember multiple times one of our pitchers and one of our outfielders, they never wore their mask, and my coach would say, all right, drop your glove and run. And, you know, if they gave him any problems, he would say, go home. If you're not going to wear your mask, you have to go home. It's not because I don't want you here. It's because you have to follow these rules.
Yeah.
He was very strict on that.
Wow.
Like, wear your mask.
Yeah, well, I mean, I get it. I mean, you have to do what you have to do. I mean, we had the same thing with our football team at the high school. And we gave them all the gator buffs, you know, the gator mask. And, you know, I would wear those because I would do that on the boat, or, you know, wearing fishing or whatever. And then you go to places like I would wear it to over to Disney, and they're like, that's not a mask, and I'm like, this is the same thing as one of those cloth masks. It's the same thing,
Yes.
and it's not. I mean, I'm not gonna even go into the mask thing because there are so many different variations and ideas behind it, and this and that, and blah blah blah. But to me, at least I was compliant and I was doing what they asked.
Mm-hmm.
But we had some at school at the school for maintenance, and they were really nice. They looked like a pair of underwear, like panties.
Yes.
And but they didn't. I didn't like it. Now the one thing about the Gators, you could breathe out of it because it was real thinner. But these were the ones that you were supposed to wear, and it didn't feel like it was like on your face, like a ski mask.
Mm-hmm.
It was more like you had a little bit of a buffer, you know,
Yes.
like almost like a shield. And so I would wear those all the time, and those didn't bother me. Like I could wear this for a while, but like any other mask, you take that thing off after 4 hours, you're like, oof, I gotta get another mask.
Yeah, it's crazy hot.
Pretty nasty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I can imagine being in an athletic situation where you got to run sprints or shag balls or whatever. You're out there and you got to wear a mask.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
But I mean, I'm not surprised that you did it. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't imagine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's just unbelievable that we had to wear masks
Right.
in the heat. And we were more than 6 feet apart from each other.
Oh yeah.
Which was the even crazier part.
Yeah.
Like I thought it was 6 feet rule, you know?
Yeah. I mean, flights were the same way. They're like, you know, if you're chewing or you're drinking.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, what makes a difference if you have that down for a second?
Right.
Or whatever. I mean, if you're exposed, you're exposed. But
exactly.
Whatever. Anyways, but that year, your first year, y'all did really well.
Yes. So, I think during season we lost 4 games total.
Wow.
4 games total, I think. Maybe 3, 4 or 3. I can't remember the exact number, but I know we lost like 3 or 4 games. And our coach told us that. He said, you guys are expected to lose at least 5 games. And I'm okay with that. Like he was okay with us losing a few games, you know. Yeah, we went pretty far. We went to nationals, which was great.
Yeah.
And we went there, we won, which was awesome too. That was just a journey in itself.
Now, where was that held at?
That was in Yuma, Arizona.
Okay. Oh, Yuma?
Yes.
Really? Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Yes.
This is like really like 310 to Yuma. Have you seen that movie?
No.
Zoe.
I don't watch TV.
Zoe. Come on.
I'm not
That's
a TV
movie.
person.
I'm going to write these down for you.
You're going to have
Yuma.
to.
It's a remake of an older version of 310 Yuma, but it's got Russell Crowe in it. It's got the guy that played Batman. What's his name? I don't remember his name. Anyways, good movie. Great movie. You got to see it. But anyways, back to what you're saying. Sorry.
Yes. So, we were able to go to Yuma. We traveled. We were able to travel. We all got COVID tests. We were all negative. So
Right.
it was, we were able to go.
Fly and all that.
Yes. And before Yuma, which I seen you, we were there at the same time. We went to Vegas for 3 days.
Yes. So that's a funny and ironic story. We went to Vegas for Nicole's birthday, for her birthday, and I don't know if you saw my post or I saw your post, but
I don't know.
We were both in Vegas. I'm like, that's so random.
I think my dad called me and he said, "Do you know Billy is in Vegas right now?" And I was like, "No way." And that's when I texted you. I was like, "You're in Vegas? Yeah, I'm in Vegas."
Yeah.
It's awesome.
What did you think of Vegas?
I don't know. I liked it. I felt like I would have liked it a lot more if I was older and appreciated it.
Say you could partake in several different things.
Yes, because I went there 18. I was 18 when I went.
There's not a lot that you can do.
Yeah, and
I mean, even if you didn't drink, I'm talking about like alcoholic. I'm talking about you can't even go into the casinos.
No, not really.
Did y'all do any shows or anything?
So our coach, we got there. I don't remember what day. The day we got there, we had a meeting in the lobby, and he said, "See you in 3 days. The bus is leaving at 9 o'clock on this day. If you're not at the bus, you're not going to Yuma, Arizona with us." So it was like 3 days of whatever we wanted to do. The only thing we had to meet up for was team dinners. So we were able to do whatever we wanted.
Oh, well, so that was different. I mean, it wasn't like go play. It was like you still have to come back.
Yeah.
It's not like, well, can we make it to LA? I mean, it's only 3 hours away. Let's do it.
Yeah, so he was kind of just like, go do what you want to do in Vegas. Like, we're here for a reason, And the Vegas thing started because all the girls were like, if we make it to nationals, you have to take us to Vegas. And like, he always upholded his promise to that. Wow. So we got to go.
Wow.
And I think they went the year after, but he cut those Vegas trips pretty short, pretty quick.
I'm probably, I don't know, I don't want to say anything bad, but maybe something happened or...
Well, we had a few girls of age, which was fine.
Well, that's true.
They did their own thing. We had a great time.
But there's nothing wrong with that if they did their own thing and they were
they were not involved in other kids.
Yeah.
Involved other kids underage. They did not represent like FSW and they weren't even doing anything bad, you know.
It was just a trip.
It was just them enjoying themselves in Vegas, you know. Yeah. And it's pretty funny because like we had team dinner and you could just tell which ones had fun and which ones didn't have fun, which was, I mean, it's great. Like you need to have those experiences in your life, and it was awesome that we were able to do it as a team.
Yeah.
And Vegas was great though. I went to the waterfall show thingy. I don't know what it's called.
Is that the Bellagio outside?
Yes.
Yeah,
I went there.
The Bellagio, yeah, the fountains.
Yes, the fountains. Yes. I watched the fountain show, and actually, I was late to curfew that night and got my phone taken because I watched the show.
That's different. Even though, don't do it again.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like you were. It wasn't like you were doing anything bad. It was the fact that, and I know it's a curfew. People are gonna be like, "No, look, rules are rules." I get that.
Yeah.
Especially if you're out there with your team. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not condoning anybody do that otherwise. But you're watching the fountains.
Oh yeah.
I mean, come on.
I was, and I guess in a way, I kind of knew my phone was gonna be taken. So I was just like, if I'm late, I'm late. I was late by like 3 minutes, but it didn't matter. He was still taking my phone. Before that, previously, when we would stay as a team in hotels at like probably 9:30, 10 o'clock, everyone's phone was taken. And they would do the call like with the phone to wake you up in the mornings. Like you have to call the desk and be like, can you do a wake up call at this time? Yeah. And that's how we would wake up. If you didn't wake up, you weren't going to the game. Like, that's how it was. Yeah. And which was fine, but a lot of girls, like, they found their ways around it. They had laptops or they had iPads, so they would use their iPads or laptops to like do whatever they wanted to do, which was funny. He had that rule in everywhere, like even team dinners, no phones. It's a no phone zone. Like you weren't, and I was used to that because my travel ball coach did that. Right. It's a funny story. One time, travel ball, we're in Chattanooga, Tennessee, I think.
Okay.
And my mom was texting me asking me, like, what are you getting to eat? And I obviously didn't have my phone because my travel coach is like, no phone zone. He took all of our phones. My mom comes over and she's like, you need to answer your phone. What are you doing? You're ignoring my phone? You're ignoring my text messages? Like, yelling at me in front of my teammates. And I'm like, I'm so embarrassed. Like, my mom's going crazy right now.
She didn't know.
She set it up.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
She knew I didn't
Tina.
have my phone. My coach told her, my coach was like, oh, she doesn't have her phone. Go yell at her.
Oh, no way.
So they set me up, and I was like, wow, really? And my mom was like, yeah, we knew you didn't have your phone, but we just wanted to mess around with you. So I guess, I mean, no phone zone. That was his big thing. Like, no phones, period.
Well, listen, I mean, I understand that, because if you're trying to form chemistry with people, you don't need to be distracted. Promotional consideration paid for by the following: Catfish Johnny's Restaurant, serving the Lake Pennsauken and surrounding areas since 1990. For the last 33 years, we have strived to serve great food at great prices and a friendly, casual atmosphere. If seafood isn't your thing, our burgers or wings are the best around. We have daily specials too. Check us out on Facebook or Instagram for more information. Central Screen Services LLC, in collaboration with Mask & Sons Incorporated. All screen services are available. We offer a variety of colors, durability, and sizes for all your screening needs. Pool areas, patios, and more. Call 352-603-4099 today for your free estimate. Proudly serving all of Citrus, Sumter, Hernando, Lake, and Pasco counties. To find out more, check them out on Facebook. Duto Realty is a homegrown business with an eye for getting the job done right. From football games to Sunday school and everything in between, these ladies care about our community and the people in it. Helping buyers and sellers in all of Florida with all types of transactions, including residential, commercial, farm, or vacant land. They do it all. They even offer auction services and sellouts to always get the job done right.
Oh, yeah.
And it didn't kill you.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean? A lot of people, I'm guilty of it myself. And I'm trying to be better at it. I'm not as bad as I used to be, but depending on this thing, this little device that is taking over our lives, you have to have it. But if you understand all the things that are in a phone, not just, they showed a picture of a phone and then all the things that are in the phone that it replaced. So they showed like a typewriter. They showed like a calendar, a compass. I say typewriter because I'd say computer, but it's a computer itself. But a computer, any typing device. And it's a mound of stuff. It's a radio, like they show like an old radio, CD, a music source, all these different things, microphones, a flashlight, all these things you don't even realize. You do know they're there, but you don't realize that all these things were taken. And they used to be a part of our lives individually. Now they're on one device.
It's just crazy.
It is. It's absolutely, it's crazy. But if you look at it that way, it doesn't seem like it's as bad, if you know what I'm saying. Because you would use those devices individually. And they showed like maps, like the actual maps rolled up and put on. It was quite a bit of stuff. Calculator, all this stuff. But it's crazy how things have evolved, and I don't know. It's just, I think it's good chemistry for a team to not be distracted, and because nowadays, like even high school, kids are so, all they want to do. Listen, I went to a concert recently, and I saw more people posing for pictures than I have ever like at a concert venue. It was like, so it's getting progressively worse. Yeah. Because that's all people care about it's kind of the vanity. It's like me, like, hey, it's okay if you want to show things to people, but it's like, do you really need 15 pictures of yourself like winking or like your leg kicked up or something like that? If it is, whatever. I just don't get it. But,
yeah. There definitely you have to find like a healthy balance between it, because I've always tried to disconnect myself from social media just so I'm like, okay, this is real life. Like this is not real life. Social media is so sometimes it's not real. It's like fake, and kids are looking up to these people or looking at these things, and
it's a facade.
You just have to disconnect from it. Right.
Whether we like it or not, our phones now are almost like a drug.
Oh yeah.
It's very addictive, and people. I know that's a very, very like harsh example, but it's true, because people grab somebody's phone and say, and just hide it from them.
Oh yeah.
They'll go nuts.
Oh, my sister falls.
Where'd my phone go? Where's my phone? I got my phone.
Yes.
Yeah. That's
my sister. She's a victim of that. She's on the phone 24/7, and she complains about a headache and this, and I'm like, your phone. And she doesn't sleep at night, and she's on her phone. I'm like, it's literally your phone. Like, you need to get off your phone.
Yeah. They say that, and I don't really have the answers for or anything to back it up, but they say that Wi-Fi. Have you ever seen? They have a video of they show 2 plants, like from seed, or it might be a bunch of plants in a tray, and one's under Wi-Fi and one's not. And the one that's not under Wi-Fi, it grows. The Wi-Fi, it makes it sterile.
Yep.
So it's crazy how this is something we have to have now, that we depended on it so much. Like you said, you can't watch movies because you don't have Wi-Fi.
Nope. Can't watch Netflix.
Netflix, nothing. You can't. Sometimes you can't even make a phone call.
Can't even scroll through TikTok.
That's right.
Can't do that.
So without that, people are, they're depending on this, and we don't know what it's doing. Is that for real? Is that something that they, because they can make up stuff all the time.
Oh yeah.
And like you said, look at TikTok and these fake people and fake accounts.
Exactly.
But I mean, do we really know the whole understand the whole thing about it? What is it actually doing? Or they say, when you're on the phone, it causes a tumor or whatever. Yeah. Does that really happen? I don't know. I mean, if it does, it kind of makes you want to slack off the phone. You want to kind of put it on speaker and walk away from it,
Exactly.
So you're not. I don't know, but that's crazy. But going back to what you said, I think that's really cool that your coach made time or made that a point to tell his players, look, you don't really need that right now. Let's spend the time together. We're a team, and that's building that team chemistry.
Yeah, it was awesome. He's a great coach. I mean, he definitely knew what was most important. Team chemistry is the most important thing. And we had the best team chemistry that anyone could ever have. Not all of us got along off the field, but when we were in that dugout, we got along. Right. We had no choice. That was my teammate. Like, if she came in the dugout upset because she struck out, someone had to talk to her. Like, he always made sure that you had a buddy, like a little buddy system, kind of. So every player needs to be talked to in a different way. Right. He would make sure that another player would be able to talk to you in the right ways where you wouldn't get an attitude. Because if he sees attitude, he's done. He's like, you're on the bench. You're sitting the bench, which is what you're supposed to do. I mean, he brought you onto this team to perform, And I thought that was pretty great that he knew what was most important at certain times. Like, we did a lot of team chemistry. We did team chemistry once or twice a week because at the beginning of this season, me and all the other girls felt very controlled. COVID. Like, the coaches were stressed out because of COVID, so that made them want to control us even more. They told us, like, we weren't allowed to go to the beach. We weren't allowed to be out of the dorms after 10 o'clock, which is what a coach is supposed to do. But we had a period where we had to take 3 days off because somebody was feeling sick. During that time, the coaches didn't allow us to do anything. Like, we weren't allowed to do anything. And all of us got together as a team, and we kind of, like, talked to our coaches adult to adult, because, we're all kind of grown here and we all need to like figure out what's best for the team.
Right.
So we talked to our coach and we're like, hey, we feel like you guys are too hard on us right now. We're trying to have fun. We're trying to make the best of the situation. We know it's COVID. We know we have rules that we have to follow, but you guys need to calm down.
Oh, yeah.
And after that, it was golden. Like, we did team bonding once or twice a week. And once we started doing that team bonding as a team, like at the softball field, you could see a tremendous difference in the dorms. Like, there was girls coming in my room that I never spoke to, and then we were able to speak, because we built that connection at the softball field and kind of took it to the dorms too. So we were all friends. It's just like there was certain cliques and groups still, but we all came together as one and played really great. And that was a lot of Robert and Kelly's doing, because they made sure that we were a family, which was awesome.
Right, and the thing about it is when you're on the field or in the dugout, and it's different if you want to get away, like I don't say you always have to hang out with the same teammates and stuff, and it makes you. I don't know if you feel like you have to be that way, but you know what I'm saying. Like, you get that time to get away and do your own thing, and that's important to some people. But as long as you're on the field and stuff, and that's when you want to take care of your teammates, pick them up when they're down, and I think that's a very, very important. People that are on the sideline or in the dugout, picking up other teammates are just as valuable as the people out on the field.
Oh yeah.
In my personal opinion.
Yeah.
If you've got a guy, like we'll say for example with football, somebody goes out there and does something wrong, they throw an interception. The last thing they want to hear when they get back is, what happened? Like, why'd you do that? Now, I'm excluding coaches, because coach needs to figure out what he saw, what happened, and they can fix it. That's totally different. But as a teammate, you don't want to go up and go, dude, what's going on? Like, what are you doing? That person that comes up and goes, hey man, you got this. Next time, we'll get them, or whatever. That person may spark something inside that individual at that moment where they're like, you know what, it can't get any worse than this. And then it, you know what I mean? They're able to get past it and move on. And that's a mental errors and I don't know what you would call it, like just getting inside your head. So mental blocks and stuff like that, where you just get in your own head and you're like, look, if you just take a step back and look at it from another point of view, like outside, it's really not that big a deal. I mean, there are ways. I mean, it seems like a big deal, but you're kind of making it more of an issue than it really is. The old saying, you're making a mountain out of a molehill. So you are just making it worse yourself. And the first person that needs to calm down is yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're the one inside going, this isn't good, blah, 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 and you can't focus on what's really important. So while you're out in Vegas, you were out in Vegas, and then you go to Yuma for the tournament. So tell me a little bit about that tournament, because it ended up very well.
Oh, yeah. It was the hottest weather I've ever been in. The driest air.
That was May.
Yes.
And you were in Arizona, so yeah.
It was so dry. Like, running from home to first, I needed to drink water after. It was so dry, but isn't the air thinner up there?
It's drier. It's a dry heat.
Yeah, but when we took BP on our practice days, we had 2 practice days before the actual tournament started.
Yeah.
Everyone was... balls were flying, like, so crazy.
So that's just like in Colorado, the air quality is different. And so as you get into a different mountain range, so like when the Rockies became an expansion team and they were in the MLB, it's still like that today, but not as bad. And I don't know what they did to figure it out and control it, but they had more home runs hitting that stadium. And of course the Rockies took advantage of it because they were in this higher altitude, which made the ball fly higher. And so I've never been to Yuma. I don't. And is it a mountain range? Is there? Because there's.
There's mountains like behind the fields. There's mountains and stuff.
Okay, so you're in that range that the whole trajectory or whatever it's called is different versus being in South Florida or somewhere flat.
Yes, because the balls were just flying, and I was like, "Oh gosh, like we're gonna hit good this weekend,
crazy.
you know?"
Yeah.
And started out first game, we were down. We were almost run ruled.
Oh wow!
Actually, yes. So we were down like 7 or 8 runs, and I don't know what happened. Last inning, we come back like someone lit a fire under our butt. Like we came back. Yeah, we were on a rally. I mean, it was pretty awesome. Like seeing the team be able to come back from that. We knew then and there we were going to win. Like we knew we were going to win after we won that game, because if we can come back from that, we can come back from anything. And we've always been a comeback team. We've always, I don't know why, we score first, but then we get behind, which was crazy. We always scored first, but we always got behind. And that was pretty awesome to see the team come back. I played in one of the games, didn't do very well, which was fine, because then I had to learn my role as a teammate, being in the dugout, screaming for my teammates, like making sure they had everything they needed. And we also had different jobs in the dugout. So someone would do like throw a ball to the first baseman and the center fielder when they come in, or track pitches, or look at the outfield to see if they're moving, like see if anyone's shifting, like see if there's any signs you can pick up on. We had a whole bunch of different things that we did. So it was awesome. And it was like the best of the best in D1 JUCO there. And we just plowed through all the teams, man. It was awesome. It was great. It was a great experience. I will never forget it. Yeah. I remember we wore the same uniform every day.
Yeah, a little superstitious there?
I guess so. It was white socks with purple pants and a white shirt. A dry fit shirt, because it was so hot there. Yeah. But I always wear long sleeves, so I had a long sleeve on, which I personally think it's cooler if you wear long sleeves.
Absolutely.
But nobody believes me on that.
I believe in you.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I believe you, because I that's me all the time.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
I feel way cooler when I had my long sleeves on. So I always wore a long sleeve, but it was so hot. We wore the same uniform every day, so we were ending up having to wash it every night, which was, I mean, maybe it was superstition for the coaches. I don't know, but we had the same uniform on every time.
Oh, I didn't even know that you washed them. I thought you just wore the same.
We washed them. I was not wearing those socks.
No, because that's superstitious.
Okay, yeah. No, we washed them.
More superstitious. Now, wearing the same game attire
every day.
It's not as bad as we didn't wash them.
No, we washed them.
Okay. I didn't think that, but that's what you're like. We wore the same one. I'm like, oh, because there are teams that have done it,
or socks. Yes.
Yeah.
I know. I couldn't imagine.
It's bad, but that's hilarious.
Yeah. So we had the same uniform on for every game, and we brought 4 uniforms, and we wore one.
Well,
the whole time.
Obviously, it worked. I mean,
something clicked.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. That was the missing factor you had going on there.
And 2 outs, bottom of the 7th, or maybe it was top of the 7th, because I think we were home team. Top of 7th, championship game. Our shortstop, Lulu Corbin, she has been known to kind of choke in situations, and she, previously at States, she choked a little bit. She bobbled a ground ball, couldn't throw it to get the girl out so we could win States against Chipola. Okay. So I feel like that was a big moment for her, because she was able to field a ground ball cleanly, throw it to first, and we got the out. And that's how we won the game, which was great for her, because her whole career she's had those moments in the high-pressure situations where she's kind of bobbled a little bit, flopped, and then she ended her career on that because she didn't play softball after that.
Oh, that's so discouraging,
Yeah, which was awesome though. I mean, it was great though.
Oh yeah, but
not being able to move on to the next level.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly. That's what I mean by that. Yeah.
And I think she had plenty of opportunities. She just had other plans.
Oh, okay.
You know?
So I was gonna say, was it like a mental thing where she's like, I just can't do this anymore?
Maybe because she played there for 3 years because she was a COVID person.
Yeah, I hate hearing stuff like that. That's unfortunate.
Yes.
And
it's very sad.
Have it that close, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's.
Yeah, but it was awesome winning nationals.
So you got a big old ring or something?
Yeah, we had a big old ring. Jeez. It's not that big, but it's pretty big.
It's big.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty cool. It definitely put more eyes on us for the next year.
Yeah.
Which was great. I don't know. It was awesome. It was fun.
Yeah.
And then post-championship, we go to Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay.
I'm sick as a dog.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. Couldn't go out. Couldn't even go out with the team to celebrate the win.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I don't know what was wrong with me. I don't want to say I had COVID because I got tested and I was negative. So I don't know what I had. I'm sitting in the hotel room. Everybody's out having a great time. We just won. Power goes out on me. And I was like, I'm gonna die. Like, I was like, oh gosh, like somebody's about to rob this place. Like, sitting in the hotel room all by myself, power out.
Yeah. I just so happen to be in the hotel they're gonna heist.
Yeah, right? Like, and I call my coach and I'm like, the power just went out. I'm a little scared. She's like, oh, you're fine. We'll be there in a few hours.
They didn't have a backup generator?
I guess not.
Wow.
The only lights that were on were like the emergency ones in the hallway.
Wow.
And the power's out for a good 30 minutes.
Scary too.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I could hear people talking and walking, and I was like, oh my gosh.
It would have been great if somebody came out and started dragging their leg like a zombie. Like,
yeah, I would. I was terrified.
You'd be like, oh my God.
It was horrible.
They left me.
Yeah. And my coaches seemed to be like, oh, you're going to be okay. They weren't thinking like anything of it, but I was very stressed out. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm sick. The power went out and somebody's going to come kidnap me. Like, that's what I thought. I was like, oh my gosh. Right, yes. Which was crazy.
Yeah. So did you, after that, that was your freshman year. Mm-hmm. So sophomore year, did you have any? Okay, so I got to tell you a story real quick. Sure. Because you mentioned on the planes. Yes.
How when you're eating, you can't have the mask on. Okay, yes. So we are in Phoenix, Arizona. Our flight leaves at like 5 a.m. So we had to be there bright and early. Well, first of all, I leave my ID at the hotel. So they had to zoom back, give my ID so I could go through. We get on our first flight from Phoenix to Texas. I think it was Houston. We were in Houston, Texas. Okay. Or Dallas, maybe. One of the two. We get there, and, you know, we have the big trophy with us. Yeah. And we take it on the plane, and we took a picture, posted it on Twitter, like, this is our carry-on for the night or for the day or something. All right. And then my teammate and one of the staff members, they're eating beef jerky. Like, just like mask down eating beef jerky. The flight attendant comes up and says, sir, ma'am, I need you to put your mask on. It's federal law. I will get the police on this plane right now if you don't put your mask on. And they're like, okay. The lady walks away. I guess, you know, there might have been a little attitude when she said okay or something. I don't know. But then she brings the head guy of all the flight attendants. And they're like, we need you guys to comply with us. We have a plane full of people that want to get home. You don't need to be taking your mask off to eat beef jerky, like making a bigger deal out of it than what it really was. Yeah. And I think someone said, okay, thank you, have a nice day. Like that. With a little attitude, I'm sure. And they said, that's it, you two off the plane. So those two, boom, kicked off the plane. Yes, kicked off. And then our athletic trainer is like, I'm medically responsible for those people. They can't be on a different flight than us. And they said, okay. They go on the big intercom. Attention, I don't know. They're like, attention everyone. If you're with the party of Florida Southwestern softball, can you please quietly, like, get off the plane? And I said, I'm not getting off of this plane. Like, what? Yeah. I'm sick. I'm ready to go home.
Scratching down the seat. Like,
yes.
I don't even know these people.
Yeah. And we were all sitting in the back of the plane. They're like, everybody from Florida Southwestern's party needs to get off this plane. Wow. We get off the plane, and we're sitting back, like, at the gate. And the police come and talk to us. And they're like, you guys are being very disrespectful. We weren't. You guys, like, need to be careful. We're going to put you on the no-flight list. So we weren't allowed to fly Southwest, like, if they would have put us on the no-flight list or whatever.
Right, cool, I'll go Delta.
Yeah, I was like, okay. And then somebody goes on Twitter thumbing over here, and they start saying, under our post about our carry-on luggage is the trophy. They were like, well, that trophy's not getting on a plane. It must be taking a bus home because they just got kicked off of my flight for being disrespectful to flight attendants, like, going off on us. And I was like, oh my gosh, no, like, I don't know. I feel like the trophy has, some juju on it or something because...
It's like an Indiana Jones.
Yeah, ever since then, like, things were just going wrong for us. So we had to find a new flight. They get us a flight to Miami, but we have to split up 2 different flights because they didn't have enough seats for all of us. Well, our flight gets canceled.
Oh my God.
So I'm still in Dallas, Texas at like 11:30 at night. And we woke up the previous morning at 4 a.m. And we're trying to find a flight. We board our plane at like 10 or 11. Get to Miami at like 1 o'clock. I think it was around 1. We get back to our dorms in Fort Myers. Our luggage is missing. I couldn't even find our luggage. So then we had to go through this whole spiel of finding our luggage. Yeah. And we finally are back at home with our luggage. And everybody at the dorms just greeted us. They were like, oh, welcome back, national champions. And they just don't know what we went through. We were like, it took us...
there was some literally baggage in that.
Yeah, it took an arm and a leg to get back, which was crazy.
Oh, my gosh.
But yeah, and then... that was pretty much it. We had like a ceremony for nationals, and it was just kind of start working again, get ready for the next season. Yeah. Next season was great. I mean, I learned a lot from my sophomore year. Right. I went through a lot. I learned a lot. I learned how to be a teammate. I learned that everybody at that school is a top dog. Right. Everybody is the best of the best.
Right.
Like, I wasn't, a big fish in a little pond. I was a little fish in a big pond now. Exactly. I was with all these great athletes. Right. And it definitely took me some time to learn that not everything is given to you. You have to earn it. Right. And my fall season, sophomore year, I had a great fall. That's when we got to play against, I played against Marissa at UF, which was really cool. She pitched against us. That was awesome. I got to play against her, played against USF. We played against, all the bigger D1 schools in the fall, which is great. Very stressful, but, it was awesome. And then the spring, it was like a 360 for me. I was down and I wasn't doing good. I was struggling mentally. I was struggling on all aspects of the game. We had a few new players come in the spring. Right. And it happens sometimes. They were playing ahead of me, which was fine. I asked, my coach multiple times, what I needed to do to get back on the field. I did anything I could to get back on the field. It just literally wasn't working. I just didn't have the perfect fit on the field. Yeah. So I was trying to find my way off the field. And that's mainly what my sophomore year was about, finding my way off the field. And I didn't go to nationals that year with them. I didn't travel with the team or anything. Right. It was a lot of learning. I learned a lot. I learned that sometimes I need to be silent in certain situations. Sometimes I need to just listen. That not everything comes easy. And I feel like that was a good experience for me. I needed to go through that to grow, Right. Which is great and awesome. I went through it already, and I definitely learned a lot from that year.
Right.
I think a lot of it was letting the outside take control of what I really should have been focused on.
Right.
I was more worried about, having fun in college than I was playing softball.
Right.
Which is, I mean, it happens to some people. It happened to me, but I definitely grew through that situation. And I'm glad that I went through it because I'm 100% more responsible, and I keep my things together now.
Well, listen, it's not, you're not the only one that's ever done that. That's the thing is these years now are your learning years.
Mm-hmm.
You think when you're 18, I know everything. No, that's when it starts to get real. Then we have to worry about finances and how I'm going to do this and where am I going to do this and what am I going to do for the rest of my life. Those don't come till later, but you can be 35, 40, 50 years old before you get your crap together.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing wrong with that if that's how you want to do it. Some people, you have to have the right situations. You have to be in the right place. Some people go and they have a plan, which is good, but then they don't have a backup plan. And then they go, it'd be just like if you went to college to play a sport and then you got hurt. Well, what are you going to do after that?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the choice you have to make. You have to figure out, what are you going to do? Do you want to have a job that is going to, you're going to do for the rest of your life? Or do you want, and the world's changed. People aren't staying with their jobs like they used to. When you hear somebody retire, my mom just retired after 35 years. People don't stay in one position that long because they either, there's so many people that go, well, I'm going to go to school to be a teacher. Then they do all the work.
Mm-hmm.
They get to a classroom and they go, I hate it.
Yep.
I hate this. So all of that effort, all that time was wasted. Now, it wasn't wasted on a degree because you can still do things with it. But the fact is that you put so much time focusing on this that you didn't have a backup plan.
Yep.
You didn't go, well, what if this, so sports, any sports, helps you prepare for that because you go, if I don't go pro, which a lot of sports, they don't have pro.
Yeah.
But what if I don't go pro, what am I going to do?
Yeah, exactly.
But then there's people that go, you know what? I'm the kind of wherever the wind blows, that's where I'm going. And that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
If that's what you really want. But the people that aren't happy are the people that either settle or they're the ones that go, well, I can't make a decision. They're very indecisive. You have to know what you want.
Yep.
And nobody will know that more than you.
Exactly.
So, it's a learning process. And I always want people to know growing up, there's time. You don't know how much time you have, but there's time. Even if you don't know exactly how much time you have, you have time to kind of get an idea of what you want to do.
Oh, yeah, and never be complacent.
No, never
things
settle.
Change every day, too.
It does. It really does, and I'm glad you know that because sometimes it takes people till they're in their 30s. And even when you get older, you'll get in your 30s and you go, oh my gosh, what I did when I was 22 or 23 years old, what was I thinking?
Yeah, exactly.
It was but at the time you're like, this is my life. That never stops.
Mm-hmm.
That never stops. It never stops that cycle.
Yeah.
So you always look back and you go, oh, why did I do that? Or, why did I do this? Or blah, blah, blah. And you know what? Just embrace it and move on.
Yep.
And then hopefully you retain that. And
yes.
you know what? I did this before. What happened? Did it work out for me? Or no, it didn't work out so good.
Yes, exactly.
And you learn from it. But I don't know. I love to hear people that are younger that they start making good decisions, and there's not a lot of them.
Yeah.
Usually you wait till you're much older, and then you go, okay, yeah, I should probably pay more attention to that.
Exactly.
And it's not just finances; it's your health. It's your mental health.
Mm-hmm.
You're just, like I said, somebody just living for the moment. Yep, I'm going to wake up, I'm going to party all day or all night, sleep a little bit, do the same thing. After a while, that can't be good for you.
It's not.
No, but for the moment,
yeah, for the moment,
let's do it. What are the repercussions though?
Mm-hmm.
What happens 5 years down the road when you can't adapt to that anymore?
Exactly. Yes, 100%. And I feel like over the year that I've been off,
right.
or over this time since I haven't played softball,
right.
I've definitely looked at life a lot differently,
right.
because like I don't have that sport right now to rely on. Like I don't have that softball where I can just, go back and be like, all right, I'm playing softball, It's just like I'm in the real world right now, and I'm just like, okay, I don't think this is for me yet.
Right.
And I don't know, it's been pretty crazy. I've obviously been off for a year, but I'm actually fortunate enough and very blessed that I'll be able to play softball again at the collegiate level.
Oh, awesome.
In the fall.
Awesome.
At Central Florida in Ocala.
Okay.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're not very far away either.
Yeah, not far. And it's kind of crazy because Florida Southwestern and CF have been rivals,
Oh, wow.
You're
going to the dark side.
Yes, I am. And I'm very excited to be there. And I'm excited to step back on the field again and play.
Awesome.
And Coach Lingle is awesome. He has a lot of faith in me, and he knows the kind of athlete I am, and he's excited for me to play for him, which is awesome to hear that a coach is excited for me to come to his team.
Right. And
he knows the kind of player I am. He wants me to play for him, and that's the only thing I could ever ask for. Having a year off and still having the opportunity to play is awesome.
Absolutely.
And I'm only young for so long, and you're only able to play college softball for so long.
That's right.
I have to take advantage of it.
Absolutely.
Which I feel like is very important for people to know. You might think it's over, but it's really not. You can make the moves to make it happen.
Right.
And I mean, it took a lot, but it didn't take much. I don't know. I was obviously working for Kona. I love my Kona job, but I was just like, dang, I miss softball. I want to play again.
Yeah.
I wanted to go to school again. Obviously, I need to finish my degree. And
what degree were you aiming at?
Business management.
Okay.
But I want to get a minor in accounting, hopefully.
Okay. You got numbers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully, got to pass stats class.
Yeah. Right. Well, that's 80% BS anyways.
Yeah, I know. Class. I have to pass it. I've already failed it once.
That's how 80% made up anyways.
Yeah. Right. But I mean, I'm excited. I'm ready to get back on the field. I'm ready to be back in the lifestyle where I have a set schedule. Right now, I'm kind of all over the place. I'll go to the gym in the morning or I'll go at night. Kind of.
Whatever you feel like.
Whatever happens. But when you play college softball, you have a schedule and you have to be there at this time and this time and get this done. And I feel like that's just a better lifestyle for me right now until I get everything figured out. I'm very excited. I haven't been able to hit a softball in so long that I'm so excited to hit again. And also, he is allowing me to play first and outfield. So I'm able to play the positions that I love the most, which is great. Yeah. And I mean, I'm just so excited that I get to be on the field again. I told him, I was like, I'll even catch for you. I'll play wherever you want me to play, which is awesome.
That's cool. Promotional consideration paid for by the following. Kona Ice. Kona Ice is a shaved ice truck that brings a one-of-a-kind tropical experience to you. Guests can flavor their own Kona Ice on our signature flavor wave, dance to our island music tunes, and enjoy a nutritious and delicious treat. Contact Jeremy and Marissa at 352-403-0515. Don't forget to follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Pat's Taps at Catfish Johnny's. Pat's Taps is Lake Penosauke's newest tap room, offering 14 rotating craft beers on tap. We also offer bottled domestic beers, seltzers, ciders, and wine, as well as a variety of appetizers and pub. Our family-friendly tap room is a great place to come hang out and enjoy some one-of-a-kind craft beer. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, or the Untapped app. Is the exterior of your home or business covered in dirt, mildew, or mold? Driveway or walkway stain? Pressure King can make your siding, deck, vents, and concrete look new again with no damage. Pressure King has cleaned the exterior of houses and businesses all over Sumter County area. Usually it takes less than a day and costs less than you would expect. Call AJ at 352-457-7209. I'll say this to you, but I mean for anybody whoever's going to listen to this, no matter what you do in your life, if you're doing something and something you love, eventually one day it's going to go away.
Mm-hmm.
And or an opportunity is always there and then it's gone. So always think about what it would be like if it was gone. Mm-hmm. And that would make you, it's such a sweeter way to look at it, because you're like, you know what? I'm not going to take anything for granted. I'm going to take my experience. I got the pleasure of working over at Disney for 17 years. I would do it all over again. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't the job. It was the people.
Yes.
And that's what I'm saying. Meet people, get contacts. People open doors that you'll never, ever imagine. And it's all about networking. So make sure you get out there and just take advantage of everything. If they say you can come in and do this at a certain time, be there. If they're going to let you go to the gym or whatever, take advantage of everything. I mean, I don't know. To me, once it's over with and you don't have that way of doing so anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then you're going to look back and go, you know what? I should have taken advantage of that. But that comes all back down to choices and what we make and what we do. But I don't know. It's like as you get older, you realize things that you did and you put first really didn't matter. And you're like, man, I wish I would have done that different.
Yes.
That's why I say I would do it all over again.
Mm-hmm.
Would I change anything? A few things.
Yeah.
But not so much meeting people or whatever. It's I would have done this because you don't want to change too much, because you might not have met that person that you're still friends with now or whatever. But what I'm saying is to sum it all up is just soak it all in, and just no matter where you're going, make the best of it, and just be grateful that you have that opportunity. And I know you are.
Yes, 100%.
I think everybody that I've interviewed so far as in athletics has been super grateful for everything.
Oh, yeah.
I can't name you one person that felt like they were entitled to anything. I mean, everybody Boo, Carson, Matt, Your Highness, Jacinto, Kirsty, all these players that were different sports, all were hardworking people. They all did hard work. They all had that effort, that work ethic that a lot of people just, now it's not so much out there. They feel like, well, I have TikTok and I got Twitter. You've seen what I can do. But that doesn't make you the better athlete. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. You can get 1% better every day at something.
Yeah.
There's something you can always get better at.
Yeah.
And, very grateful for the opportunity to be able to step on the field again. And hopefully I take it farther this time. Because, I've learned from my past mistakes. Trust me, I know. I'm just really excited to be back on the field. Like you said, it's an opportunity that I need to take advantage of. Yeah. And I know I'm going to. I just got to keep my head straight and make sure I'm good.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and not only just, like I said, when I said soak it in, just just enjoy yourself. Because if you're not having fun, you're not doing what you love, like what we said at the beginning of the podcast. If you're not doing what you love in the first place, then why are you doing it?
Oh yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're a professional athlete or you're high school or college. If you're not doing what you love, I think you're wasting your time.
Oh yeah, and I think that's what I struggled with the most.
Yeah.
My freshman and sophomore year of college, I was trying to please my coach, and I was trying to prove to him the kind of athlete I was, when that's 100% not what you're supposed to do. You need to kind of prove it to yourself and continue to stay in yourself. Don't change for anyone else.
Absolutely.
Stay true to yourself.
Absolutely. And they're going to notice. You may think they don't notice, but they notice. There are eyes everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Either it's film, other coaches, themselves, whatever it is, they're going to notice progression, or if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, they're going to know that too. And that, I'm telling you, as being around the coaching field, is that actions do speak louder than words. You don't have to say a word. You don't have to talk at all.
Yes.
I mean, if they ask you a question, you respond. I mean, I would, but you don't have to be outspoken.
Not at all.
You can be the quietest guy or girl on the team. Doesn't matter. Show them what you can do. Let that speak. There's no reason for. A lot of people are finding out. Like we were talking about that pitcher, throw him the heater. All right. Boom. Well, what are you going to say now? There's nothing you can do.
Nothing you can do.
So be that humble person that is quiet, doing what they're doing, and it'll all work out.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And I'm hoping for, like, a good comeback. I mean, there's not much to fall back on.
Right.
But I just hope, like, I take it somewhere. Because I'm wanting to move on to the next level,
Right.
And I feel like I will have plenty of opportunity to do that. As long as I stay on my grind and get my schoolwork done.
Right.
Because school is also very important when it comes to, any sport.
Right.
You kind of have to, like, make sure you have good grades. You can't get recruited by many D1 schools coming out of JUCO if you don't have a good GPA.
Right.
And you don't have all your credit hours.
Right.
So that's very important.
Absolutely. And I think that's a lot of people, they don't really credit that anymore. They're just like, you know what, I got talent.
Yeah.
But that doesn't get you over the hump. You gotta have all the qualifications.
And it's a lot easier with, not trying to say this in a bad way, it's a lot easier in male sports to slack on the grades a little bit, because you can get recruited straight out of your freshman year of college.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of younger kids now, not kids, but there's like a lot of younger players in the MLB now. They're starting at 18, 19 years old. They're coming straight out of high school. They didn't even go to college.
Oh yeah.
And that's crazy.
Oh yeah. It's definitely it's just the world we live in, and it's changing. And you go back to when I was in high school, and we were talking to Matt Ellis was on here, and we were talking about how he sent his film off on a VHS tape in the mail, with a cover sheet with his stats. That's how you got people to notice you. You didn't have Twitter where you could send it immediately to a coach and hopefully they watch. You could. I could send something to Nick Saban right now if I wanted to.
Literally, and they make it a lot easier.
Absolutely. Now I'm sure they have somebody that goes through all that and decides what gets seen and what doesn't. All those guys do, but regardless, that's better than mailing a VHS tape and hoping it gets there.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm in a different age of athletes and how they kind of get seen and stuff, and those bat flips and all these crazy things that they do when those videos go viral, that's how you get noticed.
Yeah.
That's how kids are getting seen nowadays. And it's a good thing, but it's also so crazy that it's evolved so much. Because I remember before, when I was younger, my dad would be like, send your emails, now I'm sending text messages. Now it's a little more personal, and it's like, all right, just DM them on Instagram, it's just getting like a lot more personal and a lot more like, oh, did you see this video of me? Like, it got this many views on Twitter, or this many views on TikTok, and that's how the people. And I mean, that's the same thing with what is it, the NIL,
the NIL
contracts and all that. With all those deals and stuff. I mean, I guess the image that you put out of yourself is very important now in sports, and it's crazy. Like, I can't believe athletes are making all this money like off of these deals.
It's crazy, and it's sadly. I mean, I say sadly, but ironically, that's where we live in now. You know, it's and you evolve. So, say 5-10 years from now, nobody's going to care about NIL. I mean, what I'm saying is they won't oppose it. They'll be like, it'll be the new norm.
Yeah, the new norm. Exactly.
So I got just a few more moments, and I just want to ask you, where do you see yourself in? Just say the same thing. What do you see yourself in 5 years? What do you want to do?
Oh, in 5 years, hopefully I've played my last 3 years of softball.
Gotcha.
I'm hoping so.
So you have 3 years of eligibility.
Yes.
Okay.
So awesome. I have this year at Central Florida, and then 2 years after that.
Okay.
So it's like
so you can technically go somewhere else if you want to.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and that's the goal.
Do you have anybody in sight? Like anybody? No.
Not at all. Not right now. Kind of just waiting for the season to start and then start contacting people. Yeah. Coach Lingle is very well known. He knows a lot of coaches. He has a lot of contacts. He knows how to get us seen. He knows how to get people interested, which is awesome. So I'm very excited for that. I mean, he had like 4 or 5 of his sophomores move on to another school this past year.
Okay.
Like mid-major D1s, which is great.
Yeah.
But hopefully I'm finished with my 3 years of softball.
Good.
And I have my degree. And I kind of want to do something in the realms of like a traveling job, maybe. Because I don't see myself being tied down to one place.
Well, I was going to say, do you see yourself staying here? Or
no.
Do you have a favorite place? Like
I don't.
You don't have this is where I would go. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't know.
Like the classic old, if you want to, it's got to be more now because $1 million ain't going to get you far anymore. But if you had $1 million, where would you move? Like,
if I had $1 million, I would probably move in the middle of Arizona somewhere.
Really?
Because I love
that's so hot.
Yeah, but it's just so pretty.
It is pretty.
It's so pretty. But I don't know. I'd probably buy a RV or something so I could travel.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I definitely want to travel. Like, hopefully in 5 years I'm traveling the world. That's my goal. I want to travel all the states first, and then I want to go like out of the country after that.
That's a good plan.
Yes,
100%. Do you have a backup plan?
Oh yeah, definitely have a backup plan. Trust me, my dad always makes sure there's A, B, and C. So
that's right. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, if that doesn't work out, I'm probably just gonna get a job around my degree, hopefully.
Yeah. You have a dream job, like that, besides the traveling part, something like you've always, like, this is what I want to do. I really want to do this. I kind of want to help people start up their business. Okay. Like, the person behind, the person behind the scenes that doesn't get I don't like all the attention, but the person behind the scenes that does a lot of the work that it goes unseen. Because I kind of like having that aspect of everything. Like, I always think about the work that goes unseen. So I want to be the person that has all that work unseen. Like, there's probably so many things that you've done for the Goblay show that nobody knows about. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Definitely.
Those are the things that I want. I want to be like the behind the scenes person of someone's business, like helping them start it up, like getting them getting them certain brands that they need. Like, I don't know. I just want to.
So I need to get in touch with you in less than 5 years.
Yeah.
That's plan B then.
Like an accountant, but more than just the money.
Right.
All of it. Kind of.
Right. Well, I hope that everything works out for it. I can't wait I tried to come to the game you played against Florida, but I don't remember what happened. I think we were going out of town. It just didn't work out. Yeah. But I had planned on seeing you and Missimore go the showdown.
Yeah, right. Cool. That was awesome.
But no, I like I said, I've known you for a long time. You've always been, you never that, like, I don't know, I've had some good luck with the guests so far. I'm not saying that anybody's a troublemaker, but even in the school, I don't remember anybody saying Zoe Riley was and always in constant trouble.
Yeah.
No, I didn't have you in class. I don't think I had you in class at all.
No, I don't think so.
I was a sub.
Maybe a few times subbing.
Yeah. I had you, but that 2020 that group was it was a cool group.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to let you know you're always welcome to come on. I can't wait to catch up with you again, and maybe we'll have some updated stuff.
Oh yeah.
We'll kind of follow you around and see where you end up going, and
100%.
Hopefully you'll be, D1 school call you and get you set up, and maybe you'll be a Gator. I don't know if you want to be a Gator or not. I'm not trying to push it on you, but it'd be good to have a third Gator on the alumni list. And but yeah, I thanks for coming on today.
Yeah, of course.
I think we pretty much summed it all up. I mean, you're still kind of in the works,
mm-hmm.
which is good because that means it's not permanent. You got time, like I said, you got time, and
exactly.
We'll see what happens.
And I feel like it's very important for other athletes to know, like.
Yeah, I mean, any tidbit of information you can pass along is great. That's just
mm-hmm.
I think you'd be a great coach as well.
Oh yeah. I know. I definitely would love to pursue coaching, but I need to do it at an elite level because I have a very short, like, like if they mess up multiple times after I tell them once, I'm just like, are you listening? Are you listening to me? Because I just told you how to fix it.
You're not listening. That's how it is. Yeah, that's how it all is. Hey, listen, coaching is a whole nother.
Oh, yeah.
And it's crazy. But it's so fulfilling. It's so rewarding.
Mm-hmm. Being able to build an athlete.
Yeah.
Being able to build a player, and guide them all the way through it.
To see them go from point A to point B and seeing the progression and all the growing involved.
Yes.
It's really, really something cool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. I've always loved it. I guess that's why I continue to do so. We're about to start Wolfpack football. And it's, golly, 4 or 5 days a week, and then and then we got the high school football, and it's crazy. But at the end of the day, I don't want to be 10 years from now going, man, I wish I'd done that.
Yeah,
I want to do it. So without I guess that's about it. We're gonna wrap this up. Zoe, I appreciate you coming in today.
Yeah, of course. More than happy to be here.
Yes, and we'll get back together and we'll figure something out. And then you're always welcome to come over. And, so wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
And
definitely have to come see a game.
Yes,
I'm right in Ocala.
I definitely will. I promise.
And I might play UF, so you might be able to go to a Gator game.
Even better. Even better. But you got to remember, or you got to pretend you know me.
Okay. I'll pretend.
Don't be like, I don't know who that guy is.
I'm like, isn't that the guy from the Goblay show?
Yeah, you need to whisper that around. That's the guy from the Goblay show. Goblay show.
Yeah, like, go watch his podcast.
Yeah, right. Listen, Zoe, I appreciate it. And I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I'll switch the camera over here. Guys, thanks for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Goblay Show with Zoe Riley. I don't know who our next guest will be, but you know what? I need you to if you're going to go on Spotify or YouTube, like and subscribe, follow all the good stuff, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm on all those. And each day we get better and better. And you know what? It's about that time. So we're going to see you later. Have a good one.